Hello and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's episode of, Double Barrel Gaming presents Doom the Dark Ages Impressions and Review. I want to thank everybody that's here. We already have 36 people checking it out. And obviously, nothing is ever guaranteed. But we are happy to see you guys and gals in the chat while we wait for everybody to, file in. Let me just bring everybody up to date. I did not obviously have a breakfast with Boom this morning. I had an appointment regarding my personal health that needed to be addressed. I'm happy to say that everything is great. I am in great shape. And there's nothing to be concerned about. But I had an appointment that I had rescheduled once before and could not miss a second time. So you know what? No breakfast with Boom, but here we are today at 1 p.m. sitting down with you guys and gals to discuss Doom: The Dark Ages. And of course, like all of the Double Barrel Gaming presents, Ask Me Anythings. I have a bunch of questions that have been proposed by the community. We will get to every one of those questions in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Please drop any questions, and I will, of course, involve you and try to answer all of the questions that you have for me regarding the game. The footage that you are seeing, please do not be alarmed, folks. There is zero spoilers. I literally scrubbed through the entire footage that runs about an hour, which is something that we'll be here about 45, maybe 50 minutes, give or take. We're going to be going over the graphics, the gameplay, the sound, and overall my final score. And as you would expect from a Double Barrel Gaming review, transparency is at the core of what we do here. Honesty, integrity. We don't give scores because we get something on the back end, but we did get the privilege of having a review copy 2 weeks in advance, thanks to Bethesda. They did provide the deluxe edition version of Doom for review. That's what I'll be reviewing today. So once again, a big thank you to Bethesda, as well, of course, as Xbox, who consistently supply these types of codes for us here at Double Barrel Gaming to, of course, review. But I want to thank everyone that's already here, 90 people. A big thank you once again for hanging out with us. So as to where I am in the story, well, I am at chapter 13. I have not beaten the game. The game has 22 long ass chapters. So you might be asking, how can I give a review based on not beating the game? Well, I have close to, and I believe more now than 25 hours in the game. And the reason why I haven't beaten it is because, well, you've heard me talk about this before. Infinite Umber and myself are very similar, cut from the same cloth, where we don't rush to beat games. I am about getting those secrets. And in chapter 13, where I am right now, my Slayer is pretty badass. And you can get that through different avenues. It is a light type of RPG element to this. You do have these shrines that you do buy your upgrades, and how you get those upgrades are by finding secret stashes of gold that are littered throughout the level. Now, some are can easily find them by just looking, and others take, well, if you're a Doom player, you know that there are a bunch of secrets and you have to find these secrets. And again, it's something that I really enjoy doing. I am a fanatic, I would even dare say, about trying to finish a level at 100%. And I did finish the first chapter at 100%. I believe I got the achievement for it. But since then, and I'm not sure if this is because I'm missing something or I need to replay the level, almost every level, the additional 11 levels, because I just got to chapter 13, I have 98% of everything found on each level. So yes, I did meticulously and maybe even grossly spend a little too much time in some of the areas trying to get everything. but that's how I enjoy playing these games, folks. So again, before we start getting into the actual review, I just want to, shout out a lot of people that are here and that are normally here, a lot of new viewers. I got to do something a little bit selfish. Um, and we don't like to ask for anything here at Double Barrel Gaming, but I do want to ask that if you are finding the channel through the review, through the algorithm on YouTube, or even on the socials, for a lot of our good friends of the channel that shared this out on the socials, please consider giving Double Barrel Gaming a sub. We are officially, I want to say, 84 subs away from 16,000, which is a really, really big deal. And I say only, I'm not being facetious. We've only been doing YouTube for 8 years. And to have as many views, and we're closing in on 8 million views, it's the little channel that could. And we do everything by the books here. We are grassroots as they come, because if we don't get the subs organically by you subbing the channel, then we don't want the subs. And we're hoping that you find today's program, as well as many others, because I do live stream 5 days a week, enjoyable enough that you would consider subscribing. I will, of course, drop the link momentarily. Let me just get to my Twitter profile so I can get that, and I can do a copy and paste and just drop it in there. And again, folks, if you don't feel obligated to subscribe, but if you do enjoy today's stream, or you do enjoy today's commentary, please consider subscribing. It would be greatly appreciated. So here, I'm dropping the link in there now. Well, there it is, folks. Please consider subscribing if you are interested. And if not, that's perfectly fine as well. But let's see. We got a couple of super chats. And again, folks, I don't want to rush through the review just to say just say we did a review and, Bethesda's going to be happy. I did get an authorization from Bethesda PR to do the review the way we normally do, which is an Ask Me Anything. The gameplay that you're going to see, or you have been watching, is from the first level. It does not go beyond the second level, so there are no spoilers whatsoever. So please do not be alarmed as to, oh my God, something's going to get spoiled. It's not. It's just a lot of brutality. And just, again, this is just some for clarity. This is me replaying the levels after hitting chapter 13. And I'm a bit overpowered, and I am playing at the second. I believe it's called Hurt Me Plenty. There are 2 additional difficulty levels for a total of 4. This is the standard default version, and I mean, listen, this game gives it to you. Pause. And you are going to enjoy it. The more powerful you get, you could up the difficulty if you feel that it's too easy. I've died several times, but not a gross amount. And I actually don't think I've died. I might have died once during this playthrough that you're watching. And of course, you can either start from your last checkpoint, which I don't do, or you can find these green helmets. And you're allowed to carry up to 3 of them. And those helmets allow you to respawn right on the spot. So let me just catch up on the 2 super chats here. Do you, K Now, the Broke Boy Insider, drops a very generous $2 super chat. And Will goes on to say, getting my Doom Collector's Edition tomorrow. Yes, mine as well. Mine will be here tomorrow, delivered by FedEx. I'm expecting a 9 a.m. delivery. And I watched a couple of the unboxings. Folks, if you are a statue guy or gal, wow, this is really, really nice. I am so glad that I bought it. And of course, we're going to have an extra copy of Doom the Dark Ages. And I think we're going to do a giveaway, folks. I'm not giving away my statue. Don't get crazy. That's my statue in my collection. But I believe I believe that a copy of the game does come with that collector's edition. If it is, and it is digital, we will do some sort of a giveaway on one of the live streams to, let somebody in the chat win one, because I don't need 2 copies, and my brother's going to probably play through Game Pass, so we're good. We also have Trek stands Lam 98 drops a very generous 2 pound super chat and says, "Yo, any sword in the game?" Okay, so here's the thing. Um, Again, I'm at chapter 13. I have gotten all of the weapons, and there is no sword, but there is a mace, and you're gonna see me use it to great degree. It is amazing. So, you know what? Let's go back to the chat here and see if we got anything. Ross, what's going on, brother? You know what? Shout out to Rick L, who is talking about the Metacritic. Well, I have that pulled up, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, let's go over everything that we have in front of us. This is from Metacritic.com. Of course, the /game/Doom the Dark Ages. It is currently sitting on Xbox Series X, which is where I played. All the footage you see is from the Xbox Series X. Based on 22 critic reviews, it is sitting at an 87. On PC currently, it is sitting after 49 critic reviews, an 86. And rounding out the back end is the PlayStation 5 version based on 49 critic reviews. It is sitting 3 points lower at an 84. Why that is, I honestly don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have an answer for you. But Ross, thank you so much, brother. I am good. Again, I had to take care of some personal medical things that were done. I've gotten a clean bill of health, and that is why, of course, there was no Breakfast at Boom as it normally is. And I trust me when I tell you, I hate missing the live streams because I miss hanging out with you. I miss hanging out with my brothers who are on the podcast, like Korkenstein and Fuzzy Belvedere and so many others. So let's see. We got hey, Brett Bingham, shout out to you, brother. Thunderdome Gaming Society, Doom is life, Doom is eternal. Yeah, so let's get into the gameplay. We got enough people here that are watching, 168 people live. Again, folks, this podcast is going to run about 45-ish, 50 minutes before we get through gameplay, graphics, sound, and an overall score. And folks, here's the thing. One of the biggest complaints that came out of Doom Eternal was the platforming. And I can tell you that that is all but been removed from here. This is as typical in the best way possible you would expect Doom to be. You can't hear it, and you just saw it. But one of my favorite things about playing this version of the Doomslayer, which, by the way, if you did not know, this is a prequel. It now there's no specific number as to how many years before 2016 where Doomslayer breaks out of a coffin. If you remember the opening to Doom 2016, I would say hundreds, but it could be 1,000 years before that game. And you're gonna see, some sights and sounds that just prove to you that no matter what era the Demon Slayer is, he is one bad MF, and you're gonna see that here in the gameplay. And yeah, so if you are a fan of the classic hulking Doom type of game where the character just feels like the Hulk. He is so menacing and so heavy. One of the things that I found to be my favorite additions to Doom the Dark Ages was the fact that you could run. And you'll see it as you're moving. You're moving so fast that there's almost like a barrier around you going forward. I absolutely love just being able to move so quick and as so hulking as he is. And one of the greatest additions for at least for me, and you, like I said, when you start playing next week, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. When you jump from a ledge, and it doesn't have to be like from a mountainside. It could be, 10, 15, 20 feet in the air. The thud that hits the ground is it shakes the controller. Like I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. It's like watching the greatest, most grisly Hulk from the MCU you could possibly imagine. And when Doom Guy lands, and this is what I think is really cool. If you happen to be on top of a mountain or a ledge and you see a group of enemies and specifically jump for the center, when you land, you disintegrate everyone around you. It is so freaking satisfying. Oh my god. And there is a when he hits the ground, there's this sonic boom that goes off. That's how big of a man or a beast he really is. I hope that you're enjoying the footage. Again, no spoilers, folks. If you're just joining us, we're at 180 people here. Enjoy the footage. It is just the beginning. Now, a little bit of the flashing that you see is the software because it's a bit dark. So I had to use a mode to lighten it so it could be better looking on screen for the stream. But if you see a little bit of a flicker, it's not a problem with the game. And you know what? Speaking of problems with the game, so I believe that I am over 25 hours after playing since I want to say Friday of last week. So I've been playing it for a week. I have stopped playing everything else. I have not been back to Call of Duty. Sadly enough, I had to step away from Expedition 33. And I got to tell you, folks, this game is addicting. You all you want to do is rip and tear. And that is what you do as the Doomslayer in this prequel. Now, Shameless Gaming, I love Boom's glazing. Look, I'm a big nerd. I don't make any qualms whatsoever. Again, yes, did we get the game for review? Sure. If the game would have been a stinking pile of you know what, I would have told you it was. That's not, in fact, the case here. This is my favorite in the three that have been released on modern consoles. It is amazing. We'll get into some of the graphics and the sound, but let me get to some of the questions that I have on tap here. And let me just bring those up. Give me 1 second. I went out of the screen like a complete D, and I hate myself for it. Okay, here we go. So Noel in the chat asks, let's see, do I let's see. Do I has he had to play the other Doom games to understand the story of this one or no? He has not played either Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal. And the answer, Noel, and the answer to the chat here is absolutely not. You do not have to have played any of the original Dooms to appreciate. This is a singular story. Again, I don't know what the ending is, if there is a cliffhanger or there is not, but from what I understand, and some of the notes that were sent to me by PR of Bethesda, is that this is a singular story being told that is a prequel. And again, no numbers added to it. Like I said, it could be 100 years, it could be 1,000 years, but there is no clarification in regards to how close this game is to Doom 2016. You can, in fact, play this as a new game and enjoy it just the same with no problems. You do not need to have played any of the Dooms prior to appreciate how badass this character is, and the weapons. We're going to get into that in a second. I mean, I specifically go through all of them so you guys and gals can see. Each weapon has a secondary or a switchable version of it that you can upgrade. And they're like for here where we are now, I have my shield, which is what I made paramount, as it's leveled up to the highest level. I can add additional things to it, but as in regards to what it does, it's the most powerful of the shield you can get, because I thought it was so the use of the shield in this game is so good and so much fun, especially when you're fighting big bosses. It's amazing. Let's see. Let me go back to the questions here. Let me answer another one. So thanks for that question, Noel. Super appreciate it. We have here Shani's MySpace. At Shani Talk on Twitter. Shani asks two questions, and I'd be more than happy to take both of them. This one is short and sweet and a little bit sad. There is no photo mode as of right now. All of the pictures that I have taken, that I will be sharing later today, have been taken via the Xbox button on the controller. There is no photo mode, at least at this version. Now, is there something that they can add? Is there going to be a day one patch that adds it? I guess, but in the pause menu, there is no photo mode. At least I could not find one. And I actually went looking for it. And his second question is, some older builds with the cutscenes don't have the cinematic black bars. So are those a thing that could be disabled? Okay, so the cutscenes, which you may or may not see one or two of them, and again, they're no spoilers. They're very, very early in the game from level one, and there might be one from level two. It is not anything spoilery at all. It does have the cinema black bars. Now, I went looking to see if I could turn those off. I could not find an option to turn off the black bars. I honestly didn't even really think about it until I read his question, and then knowing that it's there, it's not bothersome at all. Especially, I'm playing on a 65-inch Samsung, and the black bars, I want to say, are maybe 5 or 6 inches on top and on the bottom. It really doesn't pull you out of the game. And when obviously when the screen goes to you playing, it just you see it opens up like you're seeing on the screen right now. Let me get back to Shani. Shani, thanks so much for the questions. We do appreciate that here. We have here Aces 352 asks, are there some off the path activities that you can collect collectibles or lore of the story? And the answer is a resounding hell freaking yeah. I'm going to say this right now, folks. If you want to be the best Doom Slayer you can be, you have to go off the beaten path. Now you're going to see, like, this is an open hub. I don't want to say open world because there are borders that you cannot cross, but there are so many hidden things to find. Now, again, like in other previous Doom, the modern Dooms, you can find like these little collectible toys. Now, what are you doing with them? Probably not much of nothing, but they're collectibles, so I go looking for them on every level. And There are hidden bosses. There are hidden rooms to get into to collect more gold to level up your character. The more gold you find, the more you can level up your characters at these shrines. You'll see a couple of them. I think there's a couple of instances where I specifically leveled up to show you. Yeah, going off the beaten path makes you a better Doomslayer, because again, this game is unforgiving, and the amount of enemies on the screen, as you're seeing like right now, is bonkers. And normally, like in this particular arena that I'm in, I have to beat the guy with the shields around him. And in order to beat those shields down, you got to use your shield to block the green projectiles, not the red. The red ones you can block, but you need to knock the green projectiles back at him to now crack his shields. And once his shields are down, then you can really go to town on him, and or him or her, because there's multiple bosses, there's multiple mid-level bosses, but like in an area that you're in, until you beat this boss, they just keep respawning. And there might be 30, 40 different things on the screen attacking you. So you gotta listen. This isn't Call of Duty where you're kind of slowly creeping around the corner. You are running the entire game. Like you are literally nonstop sprinting to get to any boss, to do as much damage you possibly can, and to continue to level up your health, because you start off, like if you see in the screen, I think I'm at 100 on shields and 150 on health. You start way less than that. I think you start at maybe 50 or 60 on each one. 50 for shields, 60 for health. That's how much I've leveled up, and mind you, I'm only at chapter 13. Let me see if there's any questions from the chat here. Um, let's see. I'm just looking to see. Pause. I see you, Shameless. That's indeed. Let's see. Heidi Knight asks, does one have a to do mini challenges in order to get upgrades for weapons? So the mini challenges will normally be a boss in an area that you is totally skippable. Um, where once you've beaten the bosses, and I don't know, this actually might be one of the areas. It's funny that we're having this conversation right now, where yeah, here it is. This is one of the mini bosses that is in the game. Now, granted, it's not one of the major bosses that is story related. This is one of the mini bosses. When you beat this boss, the end animation is you ripping out their heart, which I think you're going to see. Now, I'm not sure if it happens here or because I already have it, I just killed them. I think I just killed them, but you rip out their heart, and that heart can either be for an upgrade to your shields or an upgrade to your health. And again, that is all on you as the player. The more that you put into this game, and I've said this for Indiana Jones, I've said it with Avowed, and I will say it once again with my third Ask Me Anything review with Doom the Dark Ages. The more that you put into this game, the better experience you are going to have, because again, the spaces that you are running around in are massive. There are a lot of hidden areas. Now, like this particular hidden area, I've already gone through, right? But again, it's one of the areas that is skippable. You can, miss it on your map, and you can not get the upgrade. And what does that ultimately mean? I mean, for me personally, I want to be the biggest badass possible, and I go out of my way to level up my character. So when I get to some of these massive size bosses, I have a better chance of just whooping their ass cowboy style. So that is the answer to that. Starfield guy says he's tempted to upgrade his LG C1, which is a great TV there, fella, to the G4, or should I wait for the G5? That's the thing. And again, this is off subject, folks, but we're here. This is a conversational podcast. I always find myself, should I wait? I like living in the now, because tomorrow the world can end. So if you're asking me, Starfield guy, I say go with the G4. The G5 is probably going to be great, but is it going to be that much better? And maybe, just maybe, because the G5s should be coming out soon, you'll get a really good deal on that G4. So that's up to you. Roshan Impenger asks a fantastic question, ladies and gentlemen, and he says, can you replay levels? The answer is I did that quite often. Again, like I said, folks, I am a completionist. I hate not seeing a number that's under 100%. I'm a little full of shit like that. I like getting to a game. I like doing everything in a level and then moving on. What I've done through the first 12 chapters is I've gotten 100% one time, and don't you know that is bothering me. And it's not an ADD kind of a thing. I don't have that, but I do like finishing my levels. And every chapter after that has 98% and it's driving me crazy. Like I just want to stop moving on and go back. So the answer, sorry for being long-winded, is yes, you can replay the levels. Gameplay is the best of the three. I think it's so fast, it's so brutal, and the weapons are amazing. Each weapon, as you're going to see, that I just switched to the energy weapon, there are two versions of it and they do different things. And obviously you can level up the 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 weapons, you know, however you want. Like for instance, they have the standard shotgun, but then they have the super shotgun, and it is a double barrel disaster for anyone in front of it, which you're seeing it right now. You see what I did? I just literally one shot at these two guys that normally these things usually take a ton of damage to take down, and I knocked out two of them. And you'll see you'll be able to do your kill animation when they turn purple. That's one other thing I want to make mention of. There the glory kills, they took them out. They don't the animation for the kills are really good. Like you'll see, I think you might have seen it already, where I took the shield and I literally buzzsaw one of those big fat guys in half. Um, the, I kind of missed the glory kills, but I understand why they didn't add them. So in regards to the gameplay, I honestly believe it's the best in the series. I'm having so much fun, and there has not been, even in the beginning of me playing this game, ever felt that I was underpowered. Like I always felt like a menace. And the demons, they're afraid of you. Like they are legitimately afraid of you. And you'll hear that in the story. So let's get into the graphics, folks. I don't think I have to talk much about this, but I do want to do some clarification. This is using the ID Engine 8, the ID Tech 8 engine, I should say. I said it backwards. And it is just stunning. What you see on your screen, now you got to remember, folks, this is compressed, it is on YouTube. I can assure you that when you see this on your TV or on your monitor, you are going to be drooling. It is stunning to look at. It honestly is just a gorgeous game. I have had not even one pinch of slowdown since I started. 25 hours in, no slowdown, no glitches, no bugs. This game launched, and mind you, this is the not even available for the masses yet. This is just for reviewers. I have not had one single frame of slowdown. Unbelievable. And obviously the graphics, as you can see, and again, folks, please, I apologize for the flashing. That's because the game is a bit dark. And in order for me to show gameplay, which is what we're doing here, I needed to use a mode where I kind of just add like an overlay of just to brighten it up so you guys and gals can see what I'm talking about. Otherwise, it's going to be too dark and you're like, boom, what the hell are you playing? I can't see. Um, so it is again graphically. I mean, it's hard to argue that Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal weren't gorgeous games on their own right, because they were stunning to look at. But of the three games, if we're making comparisons of the three games, this is the best one to date. Why is that? Well, they are using the most updated ID Tech engine, which is the ID Tech 8. And again, it's just a stunning game to look at. I have had, again, no glitches, no slowdown. It runs flawless. This has all been recorded and played on the Xbox Series X, and I've had nothing but Beautiful images to look at. As you're gonna see again, there's no spoilers here, but the maps are big and there is a lot of check this out. Disintegrated. Do you see that? I literally disintegrated 15 enemies. Now, granted, they're just the grunts, but I mean, come on. It's again, you don't really know until you know, like the kids like to say, because you're just watching a silent screen and you're listening to this knucklehead talk about it. I can't wait for you to experience leaping off the top of a bridge or a mountain and just decimating. There's, like I said, there's this ginormous sonic boom that it's so good. Oh man, son, my internet's starting to take a dump. Good grief. Folks, just let me know if I am cutting in and out. It's going back up. Just give me, yeah, yeah. So we should be back. Just let me know if I'm stuttering or it's any kind of botting issues. I don't think so because again, they're doing work outside. They've been doing it for 2 weeks, and thank God it has not affected anything on today's stream because I would be devastated. I have a big responsibility to deliver a Ask Me Anything live review. And I normally say this in the beginning, folks, and I don't think you can tell because I'm having so much fun with you. But these are the instances where I actually still have butterflies because not because I'm nervous to talk in public. I did it as a cop, so doing this behind the microphone is super easy. But it's always worried about the stream, which is starting to slow down again, and good grief. Again, folks, just please bear with me. If I'm kind of breaking up, I can't help it. I'm hoping that it does go back to normal. Please let me know if I am botting in any way. I'm trying to make some adjustments live on the air. Um, but yeah, so that's my whole take on it. Just again, folks, if you are in the chat and I see everyone here, just kind of throw me a thumbs up if I am still streaming good and that there is no botting. Okay, so King Slevin, thank you so much, says you're good. Fuzzy Tomato says you're fine to me. Yeah, I appreciate it, folks. Again, it's it's nerve-wracking being here, having to do the podcasts are easy. This is nerve-wracking for me personally because I have been given the responsibility to represent the game for someone, and I take this stuff super serious. And when it doesn't work out like it's supposed to, I'm actually heartbroken over it. Not just for me, for you, but I'm also devastated for the people that trusted me with their wares. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to take a drink of water, kind of just wet the whistle if you don't mind. And there we go. And I want to get into sound. The sound in this game now, look, the original composer for the first two Dooms was a gentleman by the name of Mick Gordon. Now, Mick Gordon is and has, we know what we know what the soundtracks were like. They were banging. They were so good that I'm not a soundtrack listener like Cognito, like Lord Cognito of the Iron Lords. He loves himself some soundtracks. I'm not really a soundtrack kind of a guy, but Doom, yeah, I will buy the soundtrack, which I have. I have it both in physical and digital forms, and I love it. Okay, so Mick Gordon did not do the soundtrack for here, and I'm here to tell you that that is okay. The Doom: The Dark Ages soundtrack was done by a studio called Finishing Move. They have done music production behind the award-nominated Borderlands 3 and Halo Wars 2. So I'm here to tell you that it's really good. Um, the sound. So we'll start with the soundtrack. The soundtrack is, if I say Doom typical, it's not being disrespectful. It's banging. It is heavy metal music that is playing while you are just destroying everything in front of you. It's phenomenal. Is it as good as Mick's work? I have to play through the game. I'd have to listen to both side by side to wonder and make that judgment. I'm really enjoying it. In regards to the actual sound for games, or the actual sound for the game, I should say. It's really good, and I have used my sound bar. I have used the sound from the TV without the sound bar, and I have also played using headphones. And okay, so for me, the the best use of it, I really enjoyed my sound bar. I have a nice matching Samsung sound bar that gives me all of the oomph and the booms thanks to the subwoofer. It you kind of like feel it, so to speak. But I'm not going to lie to you and say that listening through headphones is really good as well. So if you go either way, the TV one, it's okay. It sounds like you'd get from your TV. If you want to push the envelope and you want to hear the heavy metal soundtrack, if you want to hear the bullets and the explosions and kind of like when you wail on somebody with the mace, it is you feel it. And again, when you jump from a high area and you hit, it's this sonic boom that is just, man, it just makes the bass. You literally feel it. It's crazy. Again, it's hard to explain because I've experienced it. I can't freaking wait for you to experience exactly what I've played. So again, if you have a good sound bar, try that. If you are someone that likes a closed kind of feel, a more personal sound, use your headphones, folks. Because if you use the headphones, you'll get a really good experience and you will hear like the growls. Like if you're close to a demon and you don't see them, you will hear them. And it's again, if you play at night, if the the lights are off, it's just you, and you like that kind of creepiness, it's here for you. Um, Let me go back off screen again for a second. Let me see if I have any more questions here. Okay, let me just take a quick look. Let's see. Okay. Ask me anything stream. Let me see if there's any new questions here. So far, there really isn't any questions, which again, let me just go right back to the chat, folks. So if I missed it, I apologize because normally when I have people to work with, I can let them talk and I can read the chat. Um, so real quick, we're at the 44-minute mark. I don't mind going another 15 minutes. I'm starting to get better at this. I feel more confident for this Ask Me Anything than I did with Indiana Jones and Avowed. And like I said, the goats of being on the mic by themselves is Dirk Riggedy. That guy is amazing. I freaking love his work. The One Man Dark Man podcast. And of course, Mav, who stepped away from podcasting for some personal stuff. And of course, we wish Mav the best. I can't wait for him to come back to do his Mav rants. And, I'm looking forward to it. But those are two of the best in the business. And I kind of feel I'm starting to get the hang of it because normally I'm talking 44 minutes and there's no one to bounce off of. I haven't died on the vine yet, but I am going to take another drink. So pardon me a second. Okay. So what you're seeing on your screen before we get to any questions is the kaiju that you can pilot. This is in the second level. No spoilers, folks. There are later on some big boss battles, which we're not going to show, but this is just a tutorial for the kaiju level mech that you're piloting. Again, no spoilers, folks. This happens for everyone that plays the game. So King Slevin, I'm going to give my overall score in about, I want to say maybe 10 minutes. So hang out for 10 more minutes. God willing, the stream still holds up. Gaming gods, please. Um, let's see. All right, so folks, if you don't mind, anyone that has any questions, drop them now So for the next 10 minutes, I can answer any and all questions. And if there's anything that's spoiler related, obviously I'll make mention of it. But drop your questions now. So of course I could read them live on the air. And we'll get out of here in about maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And that will be the end of the stream. And of course, again, all I need to do is the stream to last another 14 minutes without taking a you know what, and I'll be a very happy podcaster. Let's see. So Ray Ray asks, can you speak on the dragon mech parts? Okay, that's a great question. Yes, Ray Ray. Oh my God, brother. I can't believe I actually forgot about that. So I don't have any of that because I was asked not to go past level 2. So you do fly a dragon. It is kind of like a mech dragon. It does feel like Panzer Dragoon. I don't know if anyone could appreciate how awesome that is, but there are some bigger levels where you are in fact flying. Now there are some corridors that are more claustrophobic that you are flying your dragon through. There are also bigger, wide open areas where you can find secrets and you can find gold and you can find other things, bosses that are hidden. There are certain areas that you'll see one of these giant things on top of like a pedestal, and you got to take your dragon and you got to shoot and kill this thing. Sometimes it's up close and personal, sometimes it's from a distance. And what you do is once you kill this thing, you'll see like the a green circle like light up, and you can press in the right stick and the dragon will land. And every time the dragon lands, it's this massive thud and he just raises his wings. It's epic. Like I've seen it, I don't know, 15, 20 times already, and I'm still getting goosebumps talking about it because it's so epic to see this thing. And then once the dragon lands, you get off of it, and now it's a level, a hidden level sometimes that you can go and find sub bosses where you can level up your health, level up your armor, and it's epic. And at the end of every one of these levels that have a sub boss, that these are hidden levels, folks, he breaks out of the castle and he free falls, and the dragons and you just land on the it's so freaking cool. Um so yes, good freaking question, brother. That is awesome. Let's see what we have. Any other questions here? Um there are a lot of Titan battles. There are instances where you don't start out in a Titan, that you have to do some things to get the Titan going. That happens to be a mission, and then you get into the Titan and you do get weapons, like the same way that the weapons drop for you when you are playing through the game. They do give you weapons in the game for these giant mechs, which you're going to see. This is not the best one. This is just the beginning, and it's a dual Gatling gun. And holy shit, it is amazing. You'll see. You'll see for yourself in a second. Let's see. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? So listen, we it's 11 minutes to 2. I'll take another 2 or 3 questions if there is any questions. That okay, so LAD in the chat says, how's the adrenaline pumping soundtrack? So I did make mention of it before, and just for some clarity, the original composer of Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal was Mick Gordon. He is not back for the third installment, which is a prequel, but I can tell you that Finishing Move, which is the studio that did it, worked on Borderlands 3 and Halo Wars 2. It's really, really good. I found myself, I'm going to buy the soundtrack for Doom, The Dark Ages when it becomes available for sure. Parker Burris says ID needs to make a Pacific Rim game. That would be dope. Yeah, I would definitely be into that. And especially because there's going to be a new live action series coming to, I believe, Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm wondering if Del Toro is going to be a part of it. That would be freaking awesome. Um, so let me just see any other questions here. Let me see, folks. id Software. Yes, I keep saying ID. It's id Software. Thanks, Jay the Destroyer, who's a good friend of mine. It's my brother right there. Um, but yeah, apologies. It's id Software, not ID Tech. It's id Tech. Yeah, there you go. Let me see. Let's see if there's any questions left here. Um So, look, it appears that all of the questions have been answered, even though they haven't been asked. I just want to say a big thank you to the 252 people that tuned in for today's Ask Me Anything. This is now the third in the series of the Double Barrel Gaming Presents. And maybe the question hasn't been asked, or if it was, I missed it. Why don't I do traditional review videos? Because they're boring. I can easily just sit in front of a mic, read from a script, and it can be cumbersome as AF. I would much rather put the pressure on myself to deliver a great stream, which is done live, show you some gameplay that's non-spoilery, have take a bunch of community questions, both from Twitter and live on the air, and ultimately, do it like that. So let's talk end of all scores. Um, I have seen the Metacritic, which I will bring back up, and I'm going to do a refresh for the Metacritic and see if it's changed. So yeah, it actually has changed. Xbox Series X 23 critics 86, 52 critic reviews on PC 86, 50 critic reviews on PlayStation 5 84. So yeah, it did drop a point on Xbox. And So 86, 86, 84, not bad. I am here to tell you folks that this game, I'm giving this. Now, I know people are going to have to smoke for me, and that's fine. I reviewed the game. I have not beaten it. I'm at chapter 13, as I told you before. I don't play games to beat them. That's why I would never be an official reviewer. I know people have played through them. I watched several of the reviews. In fact, one that was really good was Jesse Norris from Xbox Era. His was absolutely fantastic. He took him 15 hours to beat the game, and then he went back to play some more. He raised the difficulty because he became ultra powerful, and he very much enjoyed it. I actually don't know what the score was because I didn't want to. No, I didn't want to know the score. I just wanted to watch the video, his hot takes on it. And no one's better at doing video reviews than Jesse Norris. I love Jesse. He's great member of the community, and of course, a big part of Xbox Era. For me personally, this is a 10 out of 10. And you say to yourself, "Oh, boom, it's another 10. I should have expected it." When you play this game, you will realize that this is not only the best in the series, it does everything that you've always expected from Doom, but has done things that you didn't expect. And those things that you didn't expect from Doom are what you see in front of you. It is the mech level, and there's several of them, and the dragon level, which I found to be a freaking amazing, especially when, again, I'm an old school cat. Like Jay the Destroyer in the chat is also an old school cat like me. Old men we are. And we remember and having fond memories of Panzer Dragoon, which is an incredible Sega series. Well, when you're flying around with this dragon, that's what it feels like. So again, you get like an aerial shooter mode with a dragon. You get a giant kaiju level mech level, which is amazing. And of course, you get the atypical ground hulking Doom type of experience. Again, what they did, which I thought was amazing, is they removed one of the most troublesome aspects of a Doom Eternal, and that, of course, was the platforming. There is limited platforming in here. If you are looking for some of the secrets, you might have to get to high places, but it's worth it. And That's gonna do it for us here, ladies and gentlemen. Music 72 says shocking, laughing my A off. I mean, listen, I don't do a lot of reviews, and I got to admit, the reviews that I have done have been games that are incredible. Indiana Jones is one of them. Avowed is another, and Doom Eternal is any game actually perfect? No, it's not actually perfect, but it's a 10 out of 10 if you like Doom games, and I quite frankly love the Doom series. And I am an old school cat that remembers playing on my Commodore 64 way back in the days. And what I played then to what I play now, it's still one of my favorite series of all time. And this game, all it does is deliver quality after quality. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us here. I see you, Music 72. I don't disagree, boom. Oh no, it's fine. Even if you disagreed with the 10, it's I get it, brother. But no, you're awesome. But don't even sweat it. It's not a dig at you at all. But I know. I listen. I read the comments. I don't respond to them because a lot of them are heinous. But it is what it is. I just want to say this, folks. A big thank you to all of the super chats. We did have a member chat here from Starfield guy who's been a channel member for 6 months. So, brother, that is very kind of you. Thank you. He says, "Hey Doom, hey Doom, sorry Boom, aka Boom Slayer. Boom, are there any difficult achievements? I haven't found any as of yet, and they do pop for you, but I can't see them because the game isn't live. So when I tell you I've played for about 25 hours, that's my internal clock. I don't have access to the achievements or how long I've been playing the game until the game is officially live everywhere. And when it is, I'll be able to then tell you if there's a difficult achievement. I have unlocked a bunch of them so far by simply just playing the game. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to restart the footage. Again, we're not going to be here for any more than another minute or two. We are at the 58-minute mark. I want to thank everyone that took the time to check out the review. I do ask that if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Mrs. Boom and I would greatly appreciate the help to get to 16K because it is a pretty big deal for us. And if you are feeling super generous about sharing this on the socials, we would be incredibly grateful for you to do that as well. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close out the show with something that's incredibly important to me. Hopefully, one day it'll be important to you. And that's something that my dad taught us when we were kids. And he would say, Craig, treat others how you want to be treated. And also, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. You live by those rules, son. I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome day. So take care, everyone. And we'll see you next week. Well, we'll see you the next time on the newest episode of Double Barrel Gaming Presents.